What's going on, guys? Ryjack back. Video recap here of the disappointing 1-0 loss to Forest yesterday. It was away, tough game, always a tough place to go. But to be honest, City showed not enough fight, not enough creativity, and well and truly, it was just a dead game, man. I in my watch along, I talked about it a lot. It was just disappointing to watch, kind of boring. Nothing exciting happened. We didn't create anything. They didn't create anything. Defensively, looked like teams are trying to get out of there with a draw, a 0-0 draw is what it looked like to me, to be honest. And that's always sad to see. It's not something you want, and it's not something that's entertaining. And City just weren't on it, which is disappointing because we had a huge amount of rest. We had a week off. They're coming off playing in extra time in the FA Cup, and for me, it was disappointing. It was just crap, and I'm frustrated watching the game, and I also understand that we're not winning the Premier League this season, so every game is not vital to win. We're just going for a Champions League spot. So, in that sense, it's not that bad a result because we're still sitting fourth, fifth. I think we're fifth now, sitting after the results today. But again, it's missed opportunities. We could have beaten a team. It's a 6-pointer in this Champions League race where we could be up to third, and we're right there, squarely in position to qualify and have a decent end of the season after this horrible season we've had. But we don't take our chances. We don't really create any chances either, and it ends up being a 1-0 loss. They score on the counter. And Ederson's he's got to save that. I mean, it's a near post finish. It's a great finish from Hudson-Odoi, but something that Ederson's got to save, to me. A top-level Premier League keeper's got to save it. And it's weird because he just made a worldy save maybe 10 minutes before that, where, he was blocked, couldn't really see the ball, dove, and pushed it onto the post. It was a great save. And it shows the quality that he has. And then he just makes that small error that ends up being the only goal in the game, and we lose. So a lot to be disappointed with, not a lot of positives at all. So I'll pull up the stats here so we can have a look. Again, full time, 1-0, City lose. The big story of the game, to be honest with you guys, almost 70% possession and 0 big chances created for City. That is absolutely insane to me. Everyone always rips on City and rips on Holland because he only scores tap-ins, and any striker that would play for City would score 30, 40, 50 goals a season because he just gets so many chances, and that maybe was the case in the past, but with this side, no more. That's not the case. We don't create chances at all. We basically just played a full game against a good team who sat back, let us have the ball, and we didn't do anything. We passed side, we passed the other side, we passed back, and we have nothing going forward. And it's so frustrating and boring to watch. Some of that is on Pep, some of that is on the players. Maybe Pep is asking players to do things they can't do, or maybe they're just not good enough anymore to do what's being asked of them. So, I'm not a football coach. I don't know the answers to these things, but I do know this is not the answer, what we're doing now. I know that we need to change because doing the same thing over and over again, you guys know, that's the definition of insanity. So, super disappointed with the game yesterday. Like I said, 14 shots, 3 on target. Very poor finishing from City. They actually had more shots on target than us. Neither team had a big chance. If you look, I'm sure we had multiple block shots. Yep, 3 block shots, of course. Block shot FC that we are. We actually had more XG. 0.86 or 0.73. That's basically the same. No clear chances for either team, to be honest, at all. Nothing screamed, wow, we should have scored there at any point. We won more duels, won more ground duels, but they beat us in the air. I mean, successful dribbles, that's all Doku, of course, basically. I'll look at the lineup just so we can see some player ratings here. And I don't know if I really take much into these player ratings. I mean, you see a lot of green for a City, and Ederson gets a 5.8 there. Maybe a little bit harsh, but he's got to make that save. Like I said, he's got to make the save get out of there with a draw. We move on. Crap game, 0-0, whatever. We could take draws at this point of the season just to keep getting closer and closer to securing Champions League for next season. What you can't do is let in a late 83rd minute goal where the game has been dead all game. You just can't happen. So maybe that is fair. Nunez comes off 61st minute, gets a yellow. I saw some people on Twitter talking about how great he was yesterday and how he was the best player before he came off, but I didn't see it. I thought he was poor. I thought he was below average, and he's just not good enough to play for City, in my opinion. We are a team that should be challenging for the Premier League, Champions League every single year based on what we've done over the past 10 years. And people don't like that. People will say, don't say we are Manchester City. Remember where you've come from. But, guys, I think it's time to get past that. We've been competing at the top for 10 years plus. We've had a decade of Pep Guardiola football. We should be competing for the Champions League and Premier League every season. You're not going to win it every season. I understand that. But we should be competing. We are Manchester City. I say it with some chest. That's fine. We want to be like Real Madrid. Are we Real Madrid? No, we're not Real Madrid yet. But we're on the path. We have a great organizational structure at the club. I don't know why we can't be saying stuff like, we are Man City. We should be competing. And maybe that's just the older fans that get upset when people say that and I say that, but it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't understand that. We should be competing, and shouldn't you guys want to be competing? That's the other thing. We're all fans here. We all want the same thing. We want to see wins. I want to see us win trophies. I want to see us lift cups, That's just how I feel. So I don't know. Kusanov, I thought he was great yesterday. Probably our best player. To me, he's been Man City's best player since he's signed. Wonderful signing. Love the future for Kusanov. He's been great. Diaz, fine. Again, the defense was, in general, really good yesterday. They didn't have any big chances at all. Defense was really good. Vardiol, fine. He probably should do better on the goal. Maybe directing him inside where there's more bodies than letting him get on his right foot. Stronger right foot. I don't know. But again, it was a weird game for him because he didn't really get up forward in this area much at all. He was more back where Nunez was kind of inverting into midfield, and it became a back three, which I'd rather have Vardiol up forward. He's one of our better attacking threats in the team, so I didn't really get that. Gonzalez was good, came off, subbed, game changed, of course, when he subbed off, and Kovacic replaces him. Maybe he gets subbed because he's on a yellow, and he had another challenge that could have been a second yellow, and Pep was a little conservative with that sub. Maybe you should trust him and just assume that he's smart enough to not get another yellow, but feel like he was doing a pretty good job, and Kovacic came in and just wasn't as good as him. We lost some control in the midfield, and it's just, same story that we've had all season long. Savinho comes off, weird substitution for me. Bernardo moves out to right wing. And Bernardo, for all of the greatness you've brought Man City and all the running and the effort you give, you don't offer much anymore. And that's probably because we play 60 games a year and you play almost all of them and we've run you to the ground. But I don't know why Pep is so adamant in hamming out Bernardo Silva. He's not a very good right winger anymore. He's not a very good midfielder anymore. He's gassed out. He gives you effort, which you always appreciate and respect. I love the effort, but with effort, you also need some output and some results, I guess. And he just doesn't really provide it. And I'm not quite sure why Pep is insistent on continuing to play him. It's strange to me. Foden, kind of not a stinker of a game, but didn't offer much. Subbed off. Just a all in all poor season for Foden. He's getting a lot of stick and crap online, and I get it. He's not had a good season. I'm sure he would tell you he's not had a good season, but I think we can lay off the Foden, stinker train a bit. The guy did win Player of the Year last year. He's young. He'll be fine. He's unlike Bernardo, where Bernardo's 30 and getting past that. Foden still has some ability going forward, and he will get back to his best, I'm sure. Doku, a fine game, but again, he beats his man off the dribble, like I said the other day, and he just doesn't have much else. Didn't impact the game to me at all. So, fine, I guess, but he just hasn't convinced me whatsoever. Haaland didn't do much at all, didn't have any opportunities given to him. As great as Haaland is, he does rely on other players' ability to get him involved in the game. And when we can't find him, he's just kind of big guy out there winning headers and trying to hold up play. And that's fine and all, but he needs chances to be given to him so he can score goals for us. That's what he's out there for, to score goals. And we need to put him in, get him the ball where he can shoot and score. And it just didn't happen at all under any circumstances. It just did not happen whatsoever. So just really poor game, awful game to watch. Disappointed, and we need changes going forward. I don't know if there's two sides of the argument. You know, people could say Pep needs to change or the players needs to change. And I think it's both. I think Pep needs to change the style because the style with these players is not working. And with the players we bring in, for the players that are not up to it anymore, we probably were going to bring in more younger players, more athletic players, and we should change our style to be an aggressive, attacking, free-flowing team again. And I hope that's what we do going forward, and I hope there's big changes in the summer because for me personally, man, I'm tired of watching us not create stuff and pass the ball around the back and go side to side and pass backwards, and I'm sure you guys are too. So going forward, let's just get through this season, man. I know it's been tough. It's been crap, but we'll get through the season, get to the summer, start buying some new players, start selling some players, and hopefully we improve there going forward. We do have the FA Cup as well to fight for. We're probably the best team left in the Cup, but I mean, it's the FA Cup. You never know. Bournemouth will be a tough game in a couple of weeks when we have that one going forward. But anyway, that's my recap. I appreciate you guys. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, sub if you're new. Appreciate any help towards the 100 sub goal that I have. With that said, I'll be back when there's some more Man City news. Hopefully we get some transfer news this week, and I can do some videos on that because no Champions League football midweek sucks. But I'll be here doing more videos, doing more live streams, making shorts and reels and whatnot. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'll be back later.